All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Toluca Rivers from Markers and Minions, and I'm really excited to show you next year's teacher planner. I made quite a few changes this year. Now we're in actually like our fifth year of doing this, of printing, designing and printing this planner. And each year when I take on this project, I take in feedback and hear what others have to say about the previous editions, and I try to make as many updates as possible. Now this year I made a ton of updates, everything from like adding a ton of new pages, taking a few things out, changing the covers, and I even redesigned the entire interior. So I'm really excited to show it to you. I'll switch my screen in just a moment and walk you through every page and show you everything that's in next year's planner, or should I say this year? I'm not sure. But anyway, this will be available starting next weekend. And if you join our M&M Teacher Shop waitlist, you'll get special links and promos and discounts and all of that emailed to you. So after this video, I'll go ahead and link the waitlist. And then once these planners go on sale, you'll be notified and you'll be able to get some of those discounts. All right, so if you're here, just say hi, leave me a comment below. Feel free to ask any questions as I'm showing the planner. I'm not going to be able to see them because I'm broadcasting a different way today, but I'll go through afterwards and answer any questions that I see come in if I didn't already address them during this video. Okay, so here we go. So here is my favorite cover personally. This is the one that I'm going to keep here at home. It's the diagonal stripes, and it's like kind of like a neutral color design this year. This is one of 5 covers. So the other covers I actually have here, they're not bound. I will show you what they look like. We have one that's lemon slices, super cute. This is what the inside looks like. And then the back cover. And then we've got the school supplies, which it seems like this is going to be the favorite this year. This is fun because you can use a Sharpie to write your name here. And then this is what the inside looks like. And then the back. And here are the rainbow stripes. So that's cute. And you have the year at the bottom, which I can't quite show. Here we go. And that's what that looks like inside, and then the back cover. And then finally, this one over here, let me grab it. Actually, this one I think is going to be a favorite, the flare pens. This was really fun designing. I actually created this on PowerPoint using different shapes and lines. So designed entirely by me. These planners have thick plastic coils here. They're really sturdy. And then this is really thick lamination. It feels like a credit card. And then the edges are rounded, so they're not going to be stabbing you. All right, so let's go in and take a look at the inside here. See inside cover of this design. Now, first thing you'll see is I've added these little bookmarks. And the cool thing about these, they're removable and they're laminated. You can write on them. Here, I'll show you. Unit 5 test. So like any copies, anything to do. On the back, we have things to grade, people to contact, and then looking ahead. And you can insert this throughout your planner to help keep your spot. And then you'll see that I've changed the layout inside completely. So now we have this color scheme where it's like we have the dark black pages, and then the rest of it is real bright, big, chunky letters, very clean and minimalist. There's not a lot of extra clip art or anything like that included. So it's just real simple and, in my opinion, tranquil and calming to look at. So this is going to be your introduction page. You can keep your usernames, set your intentions, label it all fancy. And then the first page here is the new school year to do. So in the beginning of the year, I have like a million checklists usually of things that I need to do or things that I need to just remember in general. So I love this. You can obviously reuse this year after year if you're doing a lot of the same things to prep each year. And then here I have just a general checklist to keep track of things either in the beginning of the year or throughout. You also have a ton of checklist pages in the back, but I think my intention for this was to kind of go alongside this. So in the beginning of the year, when we need certain forms to come back from students, etc., then we can keep track of that here. And then we have our daily schedule, weekly specials, and weekly reminders. So any electives or your usual specials, if you have friends that go to speech or whatever it is, you can lay it all out here. You've got your calendar that you can use to highlight certain blocks for breaks, days off, things like that. And then you can also write your important dates right here at a glance. We've got the birthday spread, which was requested before. I think I just had this page, maybe one other page, and someone was like, well, what about for birthdays? So I have this unique spread just for that. And then this is new as well. You've got a student roster and it carries over. So you have their names, birthdays, guardians, and then any allergies, strengths, challenges, services, anything that you'd like to keep track of for each student. And it goes up to 35 kids. Hopefully you don't have more than 35 kids. And then here you've got a PD log. This is cool. I recommend using this sort of like as a master if you think you're going to do more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 PDs. You can you can make a copy of this and then use it throughout the year. Okay, this I'm really excited about. I think I thought of this like when I was showering or when I was like about to fall asleep. And I was like, I have to write this down and remember to do this in the planner. So you'll see here that I've got this nice quote page, and they're laminated. When you open them up, you've got your room layout and your seating chart. You can literally use a dry erase marker to map out your seating chart, your arrangement, your classroom layout, even bulletin boards, okay? And you can just go in and jot things down and then erase, reconfigure. I'm super excited about this because I know that, especially in the beginning of the year, I've got a ton of pages around where I'm like trying to map out the layout of the room. So this is fun. And then these are QR codes that I've put in here that kind of they link to blog posts that have tips for layout, student collaboration, communication, bulletin boards, things like that. And then we've got the communication log, and I think I put several in here. If you think you're going to need more than these 3, then you can use these as masters as well and make copies of them. But you've got the date, student, parent, reason for contact, and any notes. So I thought this was kind of handy to keep track of. And then we've got this spread and the next spread for your subs. So this is intended for you to just write it in and be able to make copies of this and give to every sub on every sub day, because this is typically things that aren't really going to change except for maybe like your specials. And then here's a sub report that they can fill out afterwards to give back to you. And then here are your sub plan masters. All right, here you've got the year at a glance. And then to go with this year at a glance, you've got your pacing guide that's separated by month. And this year I've started the planner with July for my year-round friends. So you'll see July as the starting month throughout. All right, and then we have our planning templates. So this year I added math planning templates in addition to the ELA, the 40 pages of ELA planning templates. So for math, I've got these 3 QR codes that link to blog posts on how to differentiate math lessons, what math centers look like in my classroom, easy ways to level students for your math groups. So really like math group focused. And then here we've got the general planning template. So you've got your concept, main skills to develop when you're teaching this unit, your timeline, pacing, any sort of dates that you need to remember, and then misconceptions that you think students might have or challenges that you think might come up when you're teaching this unit, just so you can get ahead of it. And then we've got math vocabulary, and then materials or manipulatives needed, and then additional notes. And you've got 10 of these. So again, you can make copies if you need more, but I figured I usually had around 10 units a year for math. So after the math planning templates are the ELA templates. And here are a lot of, small group tips as well. 3 reads method, things you need to do before teaching a new unit. Yeah, small groups, fitting everything in. So these were designed specifically with Benchmark Advanced users in mind. However, there's nothing specific to Benchmark. I know a lot of teachers that don't use Benchmark still use this planner because the way that it's laid out, it can be used for a lot of other curriculums that are out there. First, we have the first few days of school. We've got week 1, week 2, and this is where you can plan out all the picture books that you're going to bring in from your classroom library to teach like these rules and these routines. And here's where you're going to focus on like what to do when you need to go to the restroom, or how we're going to transition from the carpet to the desks or whatever. So all of those things that you're going to be teaching in those first few weeks of school, and assessments and all that. And then finally we get into the unit breakdowns. So each unit is going to be laid out like this. We've got the Unit 1 overview, where you're going to list out your essential question, your close reading objectives or skills, and then spelling, language, and writing. And these are going to be your big picture skills for the whole duration of your ELA unit. And then here you're going to go into the individual weeks. So for example, week 1, you're going to write out what your phonics focus is and your words, your grammar, language focus, vocabulary, high frequency words, the text that you'll be reading, and then day 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, what you'll be covering in close reading, foundational skills, and writing. And it's intended for you to actually like take from here. So like your week 1 close reading skills, transfer it right over here. So it's meant to help you plan really easily. And then you've got weeks 2 and 3. And then it starts over. Overview 1, 2, 3. And there are 40 pages, because there are 10 units. And then next, we've got our monthly and weekly spreads. So the tabbing is really great. I love these tabs. They're double-sided on either side of the pages. They're really pretty and they're really durable, and the colors match the months. So it's the little things. Here's what the monthly calendar spread looks like. I brought in the black again. I think it looks really sleek. On all of your calendar spreads, you'll have a notes section, a looking ahead calendar. On some months, I stuck it down here. Topics taught, reminders, and a to-do list. And then, of course, your squares that are already numbered for you. And then I've included holidays. Those are already written in there for you. After every month, you've got a notes spread. So for your staff meetings, planning, whatever it is, you've got one spread here, and then you've got extra notes pages in the back that I'll show you afterwards. Every month, I've also included a reading groups planner and a math groups planner so that you can shuffle your ELA and math groups. So hopefully this encourages or inspires you to get those small groups up and running if you haven't already. But anyway, they have you plan out like your text, skills and strategies, putting students in different groups. We've got areas of need for math, and then games and differentiation materials. And then after is your spread for your weekly planning. So this is a big change this year. And I'm excited about it. I hope you all like it too. Every year, teachers ask me if I have 2 versions, if I have them with the subjects for, let's say, days days going across the top and then days going down the side. And I only print it one way because that's the only option that the printer gives me. So this year I made it so that you can plan vertically or horizontally. And I actually have a sticker pack that you can get separately where they're clear vinyl stickers. They're labels for all the days of the week and all the subjects. So if you want to actually get those little stickers, you can stick them right on, and they look neat because they're clear, because so you can still see the pretty pastels behind it. I wanted to still make it so that it was day and week specific. So instead of dating anything and eliminating, 50% of teachers, I put the week up here. So if you're planning down this way, it'll be, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and then July 1st, or going this way. So this should help you be able to quickly label your planner. There's also a little note section up at the top, and we've got these gray lines within your planning boxes to help you stay nice and clean and organized. So I like it. Got them for every week. Again, I started in the month of July. August, I'll just flip through quickly now to show you the colors. September, October, November. You'll see this color corresponds with this color and this color. January, February, March, April, May, and June. All right, and in the back after June is the checklist pages, the gradebook / checklist pages. So here I have the benchmark spread. This is for teachers using Benchmark Advanced. If this doesn't apply to you, you can just ignore this page. But if you are teaching Benchmark, this is really cool. So you've got all your students' names here, and then I've written out every single unit and weekly test. So Unit 1, week 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then all of the interims here. Okay, so the interims are the ones that you take every few months after each set of 3 units. They're optional in some districts, but yeah, you can input those scores there. And then we've got, I think I included 10 blank checklist pages, and then you can do the trick where you fold this over if you'd like, so that you don't have to rewrite your students' names. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10. One of the requests, in fact, a lot of people requested more of these checklist pages. So this year there are 10 of them. And then we have blank notes pages. So a few there. And then we have, like some of my daughter's work in here, the pocket. And this year, the pockets fit a normal size piece of paper. Yay! So it's double-sided. Awesome. And then here we have 2 heavy-duty sheet protectors, and it also fits a regular 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. Last year, I don't know why, my printer made them off by a millimeter or something, and it was so annoying. You couldn't fit a piece of paper in there. So now I have normal sheet protectors and pockets. There are 2 of them here. We've got our stickers that come with the planner. I also have an additional pack of stickers that I designed this year that you can get separately if you want. They're for holidays. They're organized by month, and they're really cute. And there's I want to say 150, 160 stickers in there. But this planner comes with 1, 2, 3 sheets of stickers also. So you've got labels, holidays. I made these cute little M&M sale stickers. So every once in a while, every quarter or so, when there's a Markers and Minions sale, you can use these stickers if you want to remind yourself. And I have these simple flags, generic planner stickers, and then ones that I made on my iPad. These were in last year's planner too. All right, so that is the 2022-23 Markers and Minions Teacher Planner. It's going to be available next weekend. And if you join the waitlist, which I will link after this video, you'll get an email as soon as the store opens up, and you'll get a special link that will give you some sort of benefit. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, so stay tuned. And if you've got any questions about this year's planner, just go ahead and leave them in the comments and I will be around to answer them. I hope you love it. It was a ton of fun to create. I made it while I was on the road, like somewhere in Montana or something. It took about a month or so. So I'm really excited to share it with you all and I hope you love it. Thank you.